Okay, got that. There we go. Just finished watching the NASCAR race. In fact, I know you guys can't quite see that, but because of the brightness of the TV, but it is still going on. They're just doing the post-race interviews. That was the most epic finish I've ever seen. Now, before I do this, for those that have not seen the race and don't want me saying any of this, leave right now. Do not watch this video, because I'm getting ready to spoil the end of the race. Here's what happened. Okay, 1.5 laps to go. They're going into turn 3. This is the nationwide race, BTW. By the way, Brian Vickers is leading. Kyle Busch is second. Brad Keselowski's third. Coming into 3, Vickers gets loose, gets right up in front of Busch. Busch ends up having to go down the track because, you know, he's not gonna get wrecked. He's not gonna get someone coming across the front bumper of him and getting wrecked and having them get wrecked or whatnot, whatever. He ends up going below the apron, which is legal in Michigan. He goes below the apron. And here comes Brad Keselowski on the extreme high side, right up near the wall. Makes it 3 wide. Keselowski on the top. In the middle is Vickers. And on the bottom, right on the apron, is Kyle Busch. Or some people will call him Kyle Bitch. But more about that later. Busch drops back. They're still going 3 wide as they cross the white flag line. They cross the start-finish line. Then going into turn number 1, they're still 3 wide. Busch falls back to 3rd. Meanwhile, Keselowski and Vickers are still going at it on the track. Vickers gets loose and almost goes up into Keselowski and almost turns him. And turn 3 and 4 is still epic. Keselowski wins the race. Then afterwards, possibly the biggest bitch fest that I've ever heard from Kyle Busch, whatever the fuck you want to call him. First of all, before he did the interview, he pulled over into the pits, over to where Vickers' car was, almost running over an official, by the way, and goes over to Vickers' car, and yells at him. Vickers then gets out, and Busch and Vickers nearly fight. The only reason they didn't fight was because of the fact that there was an official standing there keeping them apart. Then Kyle Busch goes on his little bitch tirade saying, quote, Vickers did not realize that, let me try that again. Vickers did not realize that that the 88 was coming. He held me up on, this is not a direct quote, he held me up on the back straightaway. And he even said, he went as far as saying that the 88 did not deserve to win. Okay, to clarify. 1. Kyle Busch did not touch Vickers. Vickers slid up, had no control over his car. Busch didn't get hit. 2. It wouldn't have mattered if that wreck didn't happen, if that near call didn't happen. Keselowski would have probably got towards them anyway, because there's a little thing called 2 people battling side by side makes them slower. The guy that's not going side by side will pass them at some point. It's physics. It's the way aerodynamics work. Look it up, bitch. And 3, this is not the first time that Kyle Busch has said something like this. He's basically calling, he also called people idiots in the interview. He's the fucking idiot. He doesn't realize that either way, he wouldn't have won the race. He wouldn't have won that thing either way, because Vickers was going to hold him off. Either that or Keselowski was going to catch both of them and pass them regardless. But then Brian Vickers comes back with the best interview I think I've ever heard in my entire life. Pardon the voice crack. He basically says, I'm sorry, I didn't know this was the Kyle Busch show. I didn't know this was the Kyle Busch show. He's just over there crying like a baby. If you want to talk, get out and talk about it like men. that's fine. If you want to fight, that's fine. Basically what he's telling Kyle Busch is, I don't give a fuck about your little tirades, about your little moaning and whining and complaining that you didn't win another fucking race, because to you everything that involves racing involves you having to win everything. You have to win everything in order to keep your self-esteem up. Otherwise you're gonna go emo and cut yourself and whine and bitch and moan about things that you think is everybody else's fault. And if you want to fucking go at it, I will knock your ass flat out, and there's no way in hell you're getting in a car again. Next time you want to bitch and moan at me, Kyle, I will knock your ass flat on the ground and they will carry you out on a stretcher. You will be in the hospital on fucking life support. I don't give a shit what NASCAR does to me. You're gonna get your ass murdered. That's basically what that's basically what Vickers is saying. And to be honest, I would pay to see Brian Vickers kick Kyle Busch's little redneck ass. He'd take Kyle Busch's little redneck ass and stuff it in a trash can. Kyle Busch, it's a good thing that Kyle Busch is no longer going to be a nationwide guy next season, full time at least, because that'll save us the hassle of him bitching and moaning in nationwide interviews. Hell, he's already got enough shit that he's done in his career. He had to, last season, I think he had to do trucks, he had to do nationwide, and he had to do trucks, nationwide, and cup at the same time. He's cut off his truck schedule last I checked. Either that or still doing it. Either way, I don't give a fuck. He's still doing nationwide and cup. And he's bitching and moaning when someone who was clearly better than him that day won the race. Because everything he has to do has to result in fucking victory. You know what? I honestly hope that NASCAR does something, because one, he could have endangered an official's lives. Or an official's life, whatever. Lives, whatever. You want to go ahead and get on me about the grammar. I don't give a fuck. He endangered someone's life, an official. He almost started a fight between Brian Vickers, who outdid him and who had nothing to and who did not get near him. He didn't get near him. He didn't touch him. Okay? He didn't touch him at all. At all. He did not fucking touch him. It's not Brian Vickers' fault that the car happened to get loose. Okay? When your car gets loose on the track, is that your fault? No. It's the fact that something happened to the car. You either got up in the marbles or something, or whatever the case may have been. Your car got loose. You couldn't control it. Only thing you can try to do is prevent from hitting someone. That's exactly what Vickers did. He did not hit anybody. Kyle Busch is complaining that, oh, well, he slowed me down. He slowed me down. Blah, 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 blah. He cost me a chance to win. He cost me a second place finish. No. Fuck that, dude. He got fucking loose. Only way he could prevent that thing from hitting you, only way he could prevent from wrecking you. Would you have rather have been wrecked? Actually, I would have rather have seen your car wrecked. So that your little redneck ass gets sit in the fucking wall. He had no control over the fucking car. As far as I'm concerned, he did a very good job, if not a perfect job, of keeping that car from smacking the wall and coming back up and hitting, or coming back down and hitting somebody. Because for all we would have known, he would have came back down, hit you, and possibly hit Keselowski, causing a 3-car pileup and causing people to get hurt. He didn't hit you. He didn't hit you at all. And hey, look at this. You still got a 300 fucking point lead. I just looked at the score. You still have a 300 fucking point lead in nationwide. So why is he pitching? Oh, I forgot. He has to be that way because he has to win every fucking race he enters. Because he's Kyle fucking Busch and he doesn't deserve to be in a car. Hell, I hope he gets his ass killed. That's it. Thank you. Goodbye. Whatever.